Hello, folks. I'm Detroit Miracle. Yes, and indeed. Right now, I am here to have more cool comic book slash film slash story discussion fun. This such topic would be about iconic singer named Maxine Jones. Yes, and I will also be comparing power levels for and of Maxine Jones in regards to her skill sets, talents, and abilities. Okay, Maxine Jones, much like many other great singers, had humble beginnings. And so, like her, they knew their initial starts and where it all began. And with Maxine Jones, she started off singing in church. She was heavily immersed in gospel music and singing as a little girl. She sung in church choirs, she sung in school choirs, all leading up to her relocating to Oakland, California. Yeah, she was originally born in New Jersey, but I know that her mother passed away at an early age, which couldn't have been easy. So eventually, later on, she relocated to Oakland, California with her sisters, I believe. And then, of course, she would later audition for a very special group, which involved initial three women, and then it became a quartet once Terry Ellis arrived and sung. So En Vogue would be born, and Maxine Jones was the first one to audition for En Vogue, and I believe she's the initial first founding member of En Vogue, of course. Then once that group, of course, got together, Maxine Jones, of course, took all of her years of gospel training and classical vocal training. Yes, she's a classically trained vocal musical genius. So she hooked up with the girls, which was in late 1980 or like 1988, I believe. And then it took them a year to record their album, their debut album, of course, and then it came out. And Maxine Jones had heavily credited that group by singing on their signature hit song. She co-sang lead, and she sung the lead. Like, her group worked like that, where all of the members were highly skilled singers, and they all shared leads and co-leads, much like Maxine Jones, of course. And not only did she contribute that way in terms of her vocal talent, she contributed heavily with songwriting credits that helped that group sell millions of records, of course, and chart songs at the top of the Billboard pop charts, R&B charts, and etc., of course. So she released a couple of albums with her group En Vogue, and those albums blew up tremendously. So she eventually left the group in 2001 to raise her daughter, but she would eventually return, of course, and record another album with En Vogue, which was their third album, in which went platinum, of course. Then she eventually left the group again to pursue other areas of her career, such as with collaborations and releasing solo songs. She heavily toured with En Vogue, and she also tours heavily without En Vogue. She's done hundreds, if not thousands, of stage show performances of all venues and types. Of course, she helped En Vogue sell more than 20 million albums as a crucial member of that group, of course. And she sold records and charted on her own with her individual release songs and projects. She hasn't released a full solo album, but she's released at least 6 or 7 solo songs maybe, and she's collaborated with several artists. So she's a collaborator, a soloist, and she, of course, fits in perfect in a group, as we all would come and learn. Okay, her power levels are this. Maxine Jones is an immensely powerful octane 3 level range plus 2. She sings in low tones, but she sings high in low tones in terms of her vocal. So in a group, she would be placed under the highest singing, sounding women, of course. She's still a mezzo soprano. She can reach high tones and speech levels too, but she can also stay in the lows and belt out powerful performances, of course. She's, of course, a powerful stage performer who electrifies crowds, of course, and she's done so many hundreds of times and has been credited for that very songwriting, stage performing, and singing genius, which is immensely powerful for her character. All right, let me know how you feel about this one.